Hi guys, welcome back to this little mini tutorial series on how to paint trees and other foliage part 2. So today we're actually going to be going into how we can paint trees and how we can make trees look pretty. We're also going to have the bonus speed paint at the end where you can see how you can apply these painting techniques into a full piece, a full masterpiece. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the video. I hope if you didn't watch the part 1 of this, a link is going to be in the cards above, so make sure you check that video out, and I hope you learned something from it. So let's get right into the tutorial. Alright, so let's move on to painting trees. So this is the tree we're going to work with. You're going to have to get your palette, start with your branch, and you definitely need to start with the branches now. With the whole foliage thing and the shrubs and the vegetation, you don't necessarily have to start with branches because you don't always see branches, but it's good to add, right? But with the tree now, you definitely have to start with your branches. So like I said before, just go to your color picker, pick your colors from there, or you can use the reference photo. This reference photo is not bad. Yeah, I don't think the colors will be too washed out just looking at it, but who knows, it might be. And it's always better to learn how to pick colors using the color picker and not just using an eyedropper tool to pick it from different pictures. It gives you more variety, and it also shows your character, I think, because people do things differently. People pick colors differently. So if you learn how to pick colors from a color picker, it shows what your tendencies are and makes the work reflect you more. Yeah. And whoosies, yeah. No, for me, I forgot to pick colors for the trees. Let me just do that right now. So what you need to understand when you're picking colors for the trees, I'm not going to use the reference photo for this. When you're picking colors for your tree, you need to understand that light, or at least the colors in the background, is going to affect the objects in the foreground. So I know that I'm going to need to use some variations of blue in there, as well as green, because the leaves are green, the ground is green. Even though the tree is relatively brown for the most part, the light from the sky and from the ground is going to be reflecting onto it, so it might cast different colors. I think that's how it works. I think that's the science behind it. Don't quote me on it, but it's just gonna look good. And that's all that matters. Okay. So I'm going to add in my base color. I want it to be a little bit darker. And start with the tree itself, the branches, the roots, the bark, the trunk of the tree, not the bark. Whatever. I'm not doing it exactly like the reference photo. Once again, I'm just doing my own tree. It's my tree. I do what I want to do. So take your time in forming the branches, by the way. I probably shouldn't be using this brush, but whatever. Take your time in forming the branches. The good thing about nature and all that is in it is that things don't have a strict pattern to it. So it's like you can do whatever you want as long as it looks good. And that's what I like. So right now, I'm not necessarily looking at the reference photo. I'm just trying to feel out how I would want this tree to look, where I would want branches to be. So I'm going to start off with having the leaves behind the tree. But I'm going to try to do like clusters of leaves instead of like having a big blob. So it's more like miniature blobs on her. Now we're going to have to cover up a lot of these branches, but just do what you think looks good for now, like in terms of the shape. I'm looking in my navigator, viewfinder, what do we want to call that thing, to make sure that the tree looks okay. What I'm gonna do though is darken the branches because I don't like how it looks. with the leaves. So darker branches looks better. Look at that. Yeah. I'm leaving some parts light because the light's coming from a particular area, so I like to emphasize that with my tree. Yeah. Great. Alright, now we've done that, so we're going to basically do it just like how we did the foliage. With each blob, we're going to put, using the tree brush, we're going to actually just have with the same green color that we used. So we're going to add the leaves to give it more definition. We're going to do that all around. Now that we have done that, we want to lock this layer. Okay, as usual. And now we're going to use our nice little textured regular brush to add the dark tones and add the light tones. I'm going to add some dark blue tones. And I'm going to blend it out a little bit while adding texture by doing like a harsh kind of blending. So it's not super blendy, but I'm using, like I said before, I'm just using the color picker to randomly pick colors from the canvas to kind of blend it out, but not too much. And I'm doing it really fast and I kind of stippling pointillism motion to help me get the colors blended. If I get to the lighter side, I try to not put as much dark as I would over the darker side to emphasize the fact that, hey, right here is lighter and over there is darker. So you decrease how much dark areas you have. Let me just kind of show you what I mean when I say I do a type of stippling thing. But this is me going really fast and I want to blend in this green, right? So I'm kind of just going back and forth with the green, taking my time. Let me just zoom in. Taking my time. And I'm also color picking. So I'm just doing this weird motion thingy, going back and forth. So it's not necessarily scribble hatching, but it's kind of like it. And I'm picking colors from outside to add it in. And that will help me to blend. And that's the kind of texture that you want. And that gives you a really good texture in terms of trees. Let me add in a darker color to show you. See, there. All right, so I'm gonna just get rid of that. So that's basically what I'm doing on the tree the entire time. So I'm going to add in some lighter tones to my tree. I've added in the darker tones. I'm going to try adding in this lighter green. I think I used it already. No, I didn't. Alright, great. So I'm going to add it in. Taking my time, trying to blend this bad boy. Yeah. Alright, so I think this tree looks okay. I'm going to add some more blues to my tree because I love blue. And blue look nice. It looks so good with your tree. And like I was saying before, because the background is blue, you need to add some blue in it in order for it to blend in with the background. And that's how nature is, Okay, so I'm going to add in some light yellow to emphasize where the light source is coming from. I'm doing this stippling thingy. You're probably hearing this through my microphone, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to blend this out because, like I said, I don't really like how this dark yellow looks. So constantly look at your navigator, your viewfinder, whatever it's called on your program, the program that you use. I'm using Clip Studio Paint, by the way. I just want to point that out. Anyway, whatever program you use, just constantly look at your viewfinder to make sure that things look cohesive. So what I'm going to do now is actually go on to adding a little bit of the leaves with my leafy brush. I'm gonna start with the regular schmegular green, just adding it to it. Try not to overblend. The next part of this is to move on to the tree bark. That's how the trees work, right? That's the part of the, that's what it's called, right? I think that's what it's called. So how I like my barks, or the trunk. It's not bark, it's trunk. That's it. How I like to do it. The woody part of the tree. So remember, I have my colors picked here, but I really love to. I'll start with my neckwear. I really just love to use lots of lines on my trees. I like those kind of textures. So I know that light is coming from there. So I'm gonna put my lighter color here. And I'm really making this bright. It'll be weird if this is so dark and then the leaves are really bright on the top. So I'm making this really bright. Alright. And then from there, I'm going to use a really soft brush to add some of the textures. Like so. I'm just trying to zoom in a bit to show you. So I really enjoy making lines for my tree barks. Like just really just lines. That's it. So I'm going to use a bit of red in my tree to, emphasize the variety of color. To add a variety of color, I should say. Yeah. I'm going to take this light color and try to incorporate it into the lines of the tree. And use a darker color to help show lines. Because if I have a tree with this particular texture, there are many kinds of trees, so you can learn how to paint different types of trees. But I wanted a tree that has this type of texture. Some parts, even where the light hits, are going to be darker than some. And then I try to blend in the lighter areas. And you can continue working this until it just looks pleasing to the eye. And I'm going to show you the last thing I normally do for my trees, and it's actually to add foliage to it. So I'm going to take some of this regular green stuff, green color I should say, and just add some green. Oh, this I'm actually using a foliage brush I have. You don't have to use it because I'm not really using it a lot. I'm going to show you how I normally use it, or how I normally do this when I don't have these type of brushes. But they had really good a lot of texture. That's really interesting. So there's no problem with using them. I'm adding them all over the tree. Okay, so what I would do is take a nice blendy brush and using that same green color, just use it to go up the length of the tree in a nice haphazard motion. And I also use it to blend in the foliage brush that I use. I use this technique to blend it in as well. So just like what we did before, where we had the dark green and the blues to add tonal quality, I should say, to the leaves. That's what we're going to do here as well. So we're gonna add some dark green. Blue is really good to darken up your colors, kids. Remember. So I'm going to also use blue. My blue is not showing that much because it looks really good. And try to blend it out. Using a more harder brush, I'm going to add the lighter green to it to show where the light is coming from, to highlight that this is plants on the trees. I'm not really trying to blend as much, just doing this whole stippling type motion, dabbing the brush onto the canvas. And that's it. That is it. Alright guys, so that is how you paint a tree. Okay, so this is the finished product. That's how it looked when I finished it. So right now what we're going to do is our little bonus section where I show you a speed paint of how you can incorporate painting trees and other foliage into an actual piece, you know. So just a little speed paint for you to get the gist of how you can incorporate it into a piece. Alright guys, so I'm gonna just stop talking now so you can watch the speed paint. Okay guys, thank you for watching this mini tutorial series on how to paint trees and other foliage. If you lasted this long, I'm very happy that you did. And I want to do more tutorials, so if you have anything that you want to know how to paint, just leave them in the comment section below and I'll be sure to do them for you. If you have any comments on how I can improve my tutorial, then leave those down below as well. If you want to see more tutorials from me, then just give this video a like. That will really help me to know what I should do in the future. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and see you next time in another video. Probably isn't going to be a tutorial, but see you next time. Alright, goodbye.